Welcome to Your Good News. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos. This is a show dedicated to nothing but things that will make you smile or at least help you find hope and faith in humanity. The world is a rough place, and sometimes we just need to hear some of the good things going on. Let's start with a Minnesotan in the spotlight. That is Minnesota's own Corey Kennedy swooning the judges during her audition on The Voice. She is now fittingly on Team Reba. Now, over the years, more than a dozen Minnesota singers have found success on that show. Kennedy hopes to do the same. Here's Heidi Wigdahl.
What is your name and where are you from?
Corey Kennedy. I'm 28 years old and I'm from Castle Mantorville, Minnesota.
Minnesota in the house.
Baby, don't you know this country? Girls still free.
Oh, there we go.
One on me.
First off, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been crazy. So I just remember I got really teary-eyed watching it, and I just had my hand over my mouth because I just couldn't believe it. I was in shock.
Where did you grow up and how did you get into music?
Yeah, I grew up. I'm the second oldest of 6 kids. So I'm born and raised West Concord area. Music really wasn't in the picture at all for me. We were hardcore athletics. So I was volleyball, basketball, softball. I was all state in all 3 of those. Went on to play college softball. We won a Division II title. College sports wrapped up, and then the world kind of opened up, and then I got to do music.
When did you decide you wanted to audition for The Voice?
Started songwriting, and I'm just posting videos on the internet. And I had just gotten back from a sales conference, and I was like, oh my gosh, they got me so hyped up to sell all this furniture. I'm going to be the best furniture salesman they've ever seen. There's really not a whole lot of resources in Southeast Minnesota for music. And then a week later, I had a talent scout reach out via Instagram.
I actually wrote a song about me meeting the 4 of you. Is it okay if I play it for you guys?
Really?
Well, I'm just a girl from a zero stoplight town, Minnesota roots, and wearing hand-me-downs.
Because I love writing story songs, and especially when it's a true story, it just flies.
Mr. Bublé, you sing like a Christmas star. But have you ever tried to jumpstart a frozen Minnesota car?
I loved the Minnesota references.
Yeah, I love Minnesota. I'm born and raised there. If I can bring Minnesota into the picture, I'm going to do it.
Did Michael Bublé ever stand a chance against Reba?
I really showed up to LA wanting Reba to turn that chair. I mean, I think anybody with country music would want to. She's an absolute legend.
What is next?
If we're going to pursue this, we're going to do it now. I quit my day job, and my fiance and I, we packed up the cars and we moved to Nashville. See, it's truly just a gal packing up, chasing her dreams and learning day by day. So everything you see is very much authentic, and we're learning one day at a time.
How cool is that? Well, how about another Minnesota singer that you might know a little better?
All I want is to spend the night together. All I want is to spend the night in your arms.
The world debut of Purple Rain, the musical, opened right here in Minneapolis, the city that Prince, of course, helped put on the map. Our Jessica Hart takes us to the State Theater for a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to bring the legendary film from the screen to the stage.
At the State Theater, lights will soon shine.
You don't have to be beautiful
On the Kid.
to turn me home.
In a rehearsal studio, Chris Collins works to match Prince's pitch.
We heard through various people that near the end of his life, he was actually considering making a musical. I mean, he loved the theater, So I feel like in some ways, this is the theater trying to love him back or something.
Brandon Jacobs Jenkins and Liliana Blaine Cruz are the musical minds
It's gonna be a party, I'm excited!
behind Purple Rain, the musical adaptation of Prince's 1984 film.
I just feel honored to be a part of it. He inspired me so much.
Ebony Williams is the choreographer.
It's great to be a part of something that helps push his legacy forward.
Because in this life, they want his legacy to live.
We don't always celebrate love, but that's what Prince did. And so we've been given the assignment to celebrate love and encourage other people to do the same.
Jason Michael Webb arranged Prince's biggest hits.
Don't care.
The truth and the love of Prince's music is so powerful.
A powerful force that guides them
You feel him. You feel him everywhere.
to give a powerful performance.
I don't care where
amount of people who have half-jokingly threatened my life in this process, fans who just really want this to be the one.
The one that gets his story right and honors his legacy.
Take me with you.
In Minneapolis, Jessica Hart, KARE 11 News.
Purple Rain runs through November 23rd at the State Theater. Tickets are still available, and pricing depends, of course, when you go and where you sit. But we did find several tickets under $100. Next up, you can make a sport out of trying to guess the age of a Rochester fitness instructor. Fred Woolman definitely plays young, but as Boyd Hooper reports, he's just received a recognition for the ages.
All right, time to work out. Let's go.
If your classic rock song needs a rocker,
All right, let's pick them up, put them down.
Fred Woolman is your man.
Give me some hammers.
A Rochester IBM retiree with a battery
Switch legs.
still charged.
Shift that weight.
You could tell yourself this,
He definitely is not 84.
but then how would you explain this?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He doesn't look no 84.
Here we go.
If you're here to see the action, he doesn't act no 84. He moves like a teenager.
But while the real live
4 times.
84-year-old keeps beat at the front of the studio, in the back, there's a stranger
All right.
with a camera. Why she's here in a moment.
Here we go.
But first, picture
2,
this.
3. This is just standing at the top of Mount Elbert.
This climber of mountains, rider of bike expeditions, runner of marathons,
Pick them up.
and leader of the pack has a philosophy.
Keep moving and don't think about bigger that number. Bigger. If I got rid of that class and didn't replace it with something, push it up there, and I'd just probably become an old guy.
And there you have it.
That'd be an old guy. That's good.
Yet the non-old guy
3.
is often a decade or more
Looking good.
older than the seniors
Like that.
he's training.
You're 71.
Yeah.
He's got 13 years on you.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to that stranger
All right, here we go.
with the camera.
10. Great.
My name is Hannah Ortman, and I am an official Guinness World Records adjudicator.
The rocker
Congratulations.
is about to jazz up his resume.
Fred, with an age of 84 years, you have achieved a new Guinness World Records title for the oldest personal trainer nailed.
I got to be honest with you here. I'm fighting the urge to have you all stand up and do some jumping jacks with me. All right, now we're talking.
Fred Woolman, classic rocker.
Let me see some footwork.
Nowhere close
I like that footwork.
to a rocking chair. Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News,
Watch out for your neighbor.
Rochester.
Fred leads his fitness class 3 mornings a week and in between does personal training. He may be the instructor, but Fred knows of only one person in his class that is older than he is. Still to come, keeping farming alive through many generations. Plus, Dangerous Man Brewing is back. But first, here's some of your good news that you shared with us this week. Pat Hansen says my angel trumpet plant had a late bloom this year. I was holding my breath last week when the frost warnings came out. I'm in the photo to emphasize the size of the plant. It was over 10 feet tall this year. There are still many buds left to open if the season holds out. It's a spectacular plant. It has a wonderful aroma in the evening. Being a tropical plant, though, it has to be dug up and put in a pot and then brought inside over the winter. I have my husband, Darwin, to thank for that. Gorgeous. Thanks for sharing it with us. And Jolene Danka sent this one in, giving big praise to her sister, her generous sister, I should say, Jen Adishek of Rosemount. She has a goal of donating 1 handmade hat to charity for every day this year. As of September 10th, she was on her 403rd hat. You nailed it, Jen. This incredible effort shows that meaningful community support does not always require a significant one-time gesture. It demonstrates that consistent, thoughtful, and personal action can have a profound and lasting impact. Jen has donated all of this, the hat making, the materials, the postage, and her time and energy. If you want to follow along, Made with Generosity, JENN, generosity. Welcome back. For 4 generations, the Larson family has farmed their family land. But at the prospect of a 5th generation, something was about to change. Michelle Beck and Audrey Russo teamed up for a special story, taking us about an hour and a half northwest of the cities to Royalton, Minnesota.
In every farming family,
I grew up here.
there comes a time
I'm from a family of 9.
for the talk.
When my folks were ready to retire and move, they came and asked Arlene and I if we were interested.
That's how the Larsons, Arlene,
The Larson tradition.
and Daryl
To take good care of the land.
continued the legacy of great-grandpa Eric Moen, a homestead in Royalton in the time of the 18th
Ulysses Grant.
U.S. president. And so their kids and grandkids grew up on the land till it passed down the way it always had.
I'm 76 and Arlene is 73, so she said our bodies are telling us it's time to turn this over to a younger generation.
But when their daughters traded Longhorns for other lines of work, the farming Larsons were down.
I guess an end of an era for us.
To the last 2. A process to hand over the reins began 3 years ago. Avery and Devin,
we are young farmers,
weren't Larsons but Johnsons. The newlyweds had planned to farm with his side of the family.
My grandpa farms.
Until a fateful stranger was selling his combine.
Found his on Craigslist.
Then eventually, his property.
I thought he was kidding, which it was at the beginning.
One thing led to another.
The Johnsons closed on the sale in March, and thus began the impeccable transition between Arlene and Avery and Daryl and Devin.
He's been very helpful.
Passing off a farm and its ways, these friends might as well be kin.
A lot of young kids don't really like farming a lot. I just keep adding grandparents. The last time we were here, do you want a root beer float? No, we're good. Here's a root beer float. It's like just like grandma, just like at home.
Yet as sweet
I don't know.
as this changes,
I get kind of
it's tempered
attached easy in a way.
by the bitter.
To sum it up, we're happy. We're happy that it's going the way it is.
On so bitterly cold a September morning, one final auction
I'm at 5, and now 10, and now 15, sir. 20.
will sell off the remaining equipment. And Tracy Songstead
All of us as kids remember coming here when my grandparents were here.
will see her parents officially retired.
It's bitter from that perspective. It's so sweet that they found a great buyer.
They're going. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's going good. It's good auction. It's going good. Yeah, I am. Yeah. It's a little emotional, but it's good. Yeah.
Let's give the Larsons a nice round of applause, folks. It's time that as they transition to retirement.
The hardest part of letting go is behind them.
We had a mother sow in each one of these pens.
So now the Larsons look ahead. Their new home is just down the road.
We're still learning.
How lucky are the next in line that helping out
Oh, I'll be available if I can. Yeah.
is what farm families do.
Right.
Michelle Beck,
That's true.
KARE 11 News, Royalton, Minnesota.
Keeping the farming theme, one place celebrating all things fall is Ferguson's Minnesota Harvest. In this week's Behind the Business, Heidi Wigdahl takes a trip to Jordan.
Like trying to count kernels in a corn pit. 3. Chi Lu and her nephew Lucas can't count the amount of times they've been to Ferguson's Minnesota Harvest.
A lot.
For many families, it's a fall tradition.
Yep, once a year for 3 years in a row.
It's really fun seeing this time of year because when we purchased the farm in 2022, this was all just grass.
Co-owner Andy Ferguson says out of their 4 orchards open to the public, this one in Jordan is the largest. More than 20 years ago, the seed was planted.
My parents bought our first orchard just outside of La Crosse, Wisconsin. So these are Haralson apples.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Now my parents are retired and my brother and I are co-owners. My wife helps manage all the stores and it's really a family business. You know, a lot of people are becoming further removed from agriculture. So that's another big thing we try to do is provide that connection.
While their core focus is on apples.
We do it just to help create that place to have a fall tradition with your family. You know, we are a family business and we love seeing other families out here.
There's just so many fun things for the kids to do, and the apple cider donuts, of course.
Among other food and drinks, the country store serves up apple cider slushies. They're also giving customers a taste of something new.
So this is the Saloon Shootout.
It's already a hit, like another new attraction.
It's the slightly scary haunted house. It's unique in that your 4- and 5-year-olds and even younger will not be scarred for life, but they will love it.
One thing's not a secret. As Ferguson's continues to grow, so do the traditions around it. In Jordan, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
Ferguson's has 2 locations in Minnesota, Jordan and Lake City, and 2 in Wisconsin, Eau Claire and Galesville. Now some good news for Twin Cities craft beer fans. Just 2 years after moving out of their Northeast Minneapolis tap room and mere months after winding down operations altogether, Dangerous Man Brewing is coming back.
This is the brew house, kind of where the magic happens.
Sometimes in life,
it does feel a little different, but it feels really good.
New chances come when we least expect it. Just ask Rob Miller.
We'll start here.
Life's twists and turns.
It was really hard to kind of pull the plug at the end.
Forced the Dangerous Man Brewing founder to shut down earlier this year.
I knew deep down it was the right thing for myself and my family and what I needed to do.
But just weeks after that,
I really thought that was the end.
Someone came driving down the road.
Serendipitously met Jeremy, and the rest is history.
Jeremy Coons doesn't have a background in beer.
For 24 years as a teacher and a principal.
But the former educator sure does love it.
I was one of my favorite breweries back when they were in Northeast Minneapolis.
And new chances come when we least expect them.
I woke up one morning and I wasn't sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. So my original goals was to start my own brand and develop a small brewery.
Call it luck then that he tried to buy some of Rob's equipment.
When I got a chance to be able to talk with and get to know Rob, I knew this was it. There was no turning back.
And instead of buying equipment, he bought the brand.
Fully came together about 10 days ago.
Jeremy is now the owner of the beloved brewery. Rob now doing what he always wanted.
That's kind of why I created Dangerous Man in the beginning, was my love for craft beer and for brewing the beer itself. And to get to do that again is pretty awesome.
Sometimes life changes when we least expect it. And sometimes it comes from the best of ideas.
My hope is to be able to continue a Dangerous Man beer and brewing that people have known, have grown to love, and are going to continue to be able to enjoy.
In Maple Lake, Ian Russell, KARE 11 News.
Rob says they have some new beers that they're working on, but some of their flagships will stay the same. As for the tap room in the cities, Jeremy says they've looked at some places, but nothing is confirmed as of now. What is confirmed, though, is that brewing starts very soon. Rob says you can expect to see their beers back on store shelves sometime next month. Still to come, what the DNR is doing to protect a giant fish in our lakes. But first, here's more of your good news that you shared with us this week. Dawn Ireland from Shoreview says, I tried something new on my 60th birthday this week. A special thank you to my instructor, Olivia, and the team at Dock 6 Pottery. I can't wait to go back for more classes. So fun, and believe it or not, so relaxing.
That is such a fun thing to do.
I've never done it.
Oh, man.
Maybe I'll have to try that soon.
It's fun and it's relaxing.
And it's relaxing. Peggy Baker says, I wanted to share some of the photos of my Gnome Bocce League that plays in my garden. It's so cute. There's like a little score and everything. She says they play until the first frost. So,
okay,
good job,
still
guys.
got a ways away.
Yeah. And Candy says our great-granddaughter Mackenzie loves to play restaurant. She brings out the play food to cook. She'll bring Gigi a menu to pick out what he wants to eat. Then she goes to make it and brings it to him to pretend to eat it.
Very cool. That's where it starts, right?
Yes, she's such a cutie. Welcome back. Right now in Minneapolis, a first. 4 Indigenous firefighters are on duty, responding to emergencies together on the same crew. Here's Ian Russell with our segment, Lifting Voices.
You could call it a numbers game. That at station number 6 on engine number 10.
These are going to initial assignment or fire?
These 4.
Yep. Very quick.
Are now the first.
A lot.
But ask anyone on this truck, and being here means much more than just being in that seat.
Yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to serve the community.
The Minneapolis Fire Department has been around since the 1800s, but for the first time,
it hasn't been like this where it's been
the whole permanent crew is Native.
Captain Michael Graves of the Makwa clan of Ojibwe says when this seemed possible, it only made sense to come together.
And why don't we do this? It was a no-brainer.
Jesse Strong of the Boyce Fort Band of Ojibwe drives Engine 10.
Instantly, we all hit it off really well, just having the really common background.
Bobby Hedberg of the Leech Lake Band.
That's what it's all about to me, is just the community. You know, without the community, we don't have jobs.
And Johnny Crow of the Oglala Lakota are firefighters on the rig.
Every day there's moments that I cherish, that I could have never imagined this.
History and culture.
Even after a tough call, you know, like I go smudge off and put out my tobacco and pray, and I ask for guidance.
Now something to look up to for the future.
When I was a kid, I didn't see anyone that looked like me as a first responder.
We have young Native kids in Little Earth or over in that community. We'll just see them smile and see all of us. To give something for them to aspire to is partly why we do it.
You could call it a numbers game for this group making history. They just say they don't want to be the only one.
We do our job and want people to understand that they can do this if they want to, so wherever they come from.
In Minneapolis, Ian Russell, KARE 11 News.
Well, this one is for our anglers. The DNR monitors fish year-round, but for a couple of weeks in early fall, the agency focuses its attention on paddlefish. Our photojournalist David Porter took a ride alongside a crew near Granite Falls.
Paddlefish sampling. We put more stuff in the boat than we do for anything else. Our boat's just so full.
The Minnesota River Valley is always an awesome adventure.
You can't beat it as far as a resource to be working on a daily basis.
Get his tail.
Paddlefish are really unique prehistoric fish species that inhabits the Minnesota River as well as the Mississippi River.
Well, we had to work pretty hard, but we got one.
And it's actually an electrosensory organ that detects plankton. Can you get the jaw tag number, Hannah?
I can.
We've just continued monitoring the population in a variety of ways.
Got so much gunk on here.
We're tagging those paddlefish with jaw tags.
619.
Integrated transponder tags. Go ahead and do the link. Up until about 10 years ago, we didn't really think there was that many paddlefish inhabiting the Minnesota River. We really unveiled this healthier population. I'm gonna let this fish go and we'll see if we catch some more today. There he goes.
Right now, we're just specifically looking at paddlefish movement. You don't get to see them that much.
Right there.
Oh, you found it. Anglers don't tend to catch them. You got the nose, look at his body. Understanding more about movement can lead into multiple projects. Into the tank with you. Knowing where populations prefer to live could end up leading into protections for paddlefish in the future.
10641.
They are important for our river systems.
Got it.
And do need to be taken care of.
And you can leave them in there for a minute.
Okay.
But something we hope to do on an annual basis, spend a week or two each fall. Yep, ready. Trying to find new habitats where they congregate in the river. So we can continue to kind of keep a pulse on that population.
You can see how big their mouths get.
And hopefully see that population expand.
There he goes.
And grow into the future.
See ya.
I didn't even know those were a thing until just now. All right, let's take a final listen to some of your good news that you shared with us this week. Frank Loth says every morning just before Alma Provisions opens, Finn stops by to be the first customer. Oh. He receives special service from the staff and his complimentary dog treat. You know I love me a good short-legged dog.
That is a well-trained pooch.
Very sweet. Joanne says, here's a video of Bodie jamming with his dad.
We're jamming out.
She says he loves music and he loves to dance. He always makes us smile. By the way, she is one of Bodie's grandmas. Also, Bodie's first birthday today, so a big happy birthday to you.
Nice moves, too.
Bodie, yes. And Cindy Elwine sent in these gorgeous photos last week during our warm spell. She says feels and looks like summer. She took these on her morning walk. Hard not to be in a good mood when you're surrounded by such beauty. Cindy, thanks so much for sharing these pictures with
great
us.
photos.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for Your Good News. If you'd like to share your good news with us, we do it every day at the end of our 4 p.m. newscast. All you got to do is send us an email to yourgoodnews@kare11.com. Be sure to add those pictures or videos of whatever it is you'd like to share. There is no good news that is too big or too small. Maybe you've beat cancer. Maybe you've got a new baby. Maybe your granddaughter's getting married. Whatever it is, we want to hear about it. All right, until we see you again, have an excellent week, friends.